Yo, what's up, guys? So this weekend, Milan have themselves a difficult trip to Parma this weekend, guys, on Saturday afternoon. And let's start off, guys, with saying that this game here is going to be a little bit difficult for Milan, going on the road to Parma. If you guys recall last year, obviously, different team, of course, with Paulo Fonseca, a lot of different players on the squad. Milan lost 2-1 to Parma on the second week of the season, right? So I understand that it's a completely different team. We got Allegri at manager now. The defense is more fluid. Different formation now. But going on the road to the Tardini is always difficult, guys. We cannot be complacent. Milan have to go in there, focused, ready to get 3 points. It's not going to be easy, regardless of the fact that Parma are winless in 5 games. They've drawn 2, lost 3. Does not bloody matter that Parma have gone winless in 5 matches. Milan have to go in there, do their business. Okay, Parma's got some dangerous players. Okay, they got Matteo Pellegrino. They got that big galoot Milan Juric at center forward. You also got Patrick Cortone. You got Hernani. So they got some players that can definitely affect Milan and make a difference in the game. But it is up to Milan to dictate play, dictate tempo, and find a way to get behind Parma's backline there, guys. Parma also doesn't score a lot of goals. They're like bottom of the league in goals scored per game, guys. So Milan's defense should not make their lives difficult. Keep it easy, and we shouldn't have any problems not conceding against Parma, guys. But you never know. This is Serie A. It's one of the toughest leagues in the world. Now, Allegri sounds like he's going with the same 11, except for Coney De Winter coming up for Kyle Tomori, which is understandable. Of course, Fick had a little bit of a knock in his knee, so Allegri didn't want to risk him right against Roma, which was a very good performance for Milan. Of course, obviously in the first half, not so much in the first half, better in the second half. But I still think Milan will find a way to win this game, guys. It sounds like Allegri's going with the same midfield with Ricci, Fofana, Modric, of course. You're obviously going to have Bartasaghi still with Salamakers and Nkunku Leao up top. But the good news is Milan are getting some injured players back. You're going to get Estupian back. Arden Jashari's coming back from his fibula injury. Those guys have been out for a little bit now, so they've been training this week. And fantastic news that we found out today is that Christian Pulisic trained today for Milan, so he'll be on the bench for Milan against Parma on Saturday night, which is absolutely massive. Milan, you can see that Milan has suffered a little bit in the attack without Christian Pulisic. So getting him back right before the international break is massive because we obviously have the derby after the international break. And the best news about it all is that Milan and the American national team, the United States national team, have come to an agreement that Pulisic will not be going on international duty, which is fantastic news. He's going to be staying in Italy, training, staying healthy, hopefully, and he'll be ready to go for the big derby coming up after the international break. Now, another injury report, of course, is Adrien Rabiot. Rabiot, unfortunately, did personalized training today. He will not be ready for the game against Parma, so Rabiot will be obviously not going to the national team for France, of course, and thank God, because a few days ago I had read Deschamps had called up Rabiot, and I was going to get angry again at this bloody guy calling up Rabiot again. Completely unnecessary to call up Rabiot after coming off a knock and an injury like this. But luckily enough, he's not calling up Rabiot. Rabiot is going to be staying in Milan as well, and hopefully he'll be ready for the derby. So it's perfect timing, guys, for these guys to come back from injury. Of course, you're getting your depth back, and you can see it. That Milan, they struggled a little bit with this midfield at times. Obviously, they beat Roma, but the Atalanta-Pisa games were a bit frustrating. So getting these guys back, guys, is absolutely massive for the depth of the squad. Allegri can rotate a little bit more, so that is great to see. And then, obviously, there's another injury as well with Santiago Jimenez. Of course, it seems like Santi has been battling an ankle injury for quite some time now. This is why he hasn't been performing to the standards we expect him to. And now he's not getting called up for the Parma game. He might be out for a couple weeks. He probably might not even make it for the game against Inter in a few weeks. So good on Santi for battling through this ankle injury, but it might not have done him any good because he's been getting a lot of flack in the news, of course, not performing well, spending 35 million euros on this player and not getting our money's worth is obviously concerning. But now we can see that there was a persistent issue with this guy, and he had a bad ankle, of course. So now let's hope he gets some time off. Let's hope he can come back healthy and ready to go. But he's not going to make it for the Parma game. So let's hope that Nkunku and Leao can get some chemistry, more chemistry than they did last week against Roma. Leao was obviously really good in the second half, and obviously in the first half getting that darting run of the field to give Pavlovic the assist. So if Leao and Nkunku can dictate play up top, you know, and press Parma's defense, I don't see why Milan can't get any goals against Parma, guys. If Milan just continue to play the way they did against Roma, of course, and, you know, just play tight defensively, wait for your opportunities, hit them on the counter if you have to at most, even though you shouldn't be doing that against Parma. You shouldn't be sitting back. You should be dominating play. Let's see if Milan, guys, can get a result against Parma. Tell me your predictions, guys. Tell me your thoughts on this game. If you had to give me, if you had to ask me what I think the scoreline would be, I think Milan can easily win this game 2-3-0. I'm gonna say 2-0 for Milan, guys. I think Milan can win this game 2-0. If they give up a goal, I'm gonna be annoyed because, like I mentioned, Parma do not score a lot of goals, guys. So Milan's defense has to stay tight and compact. If the midfield dictate play, if Modric can find Leao and Nkunku in space, and if Rafa does what he does best, I don't see why Milan cannot go on to win this game, guys. Continue their good form. Of course, stay up there at the top of the city. Obviously, Milan and Roma and Inter are tied with 21 points. Napoli is a point ahead, guys, at the top of the table. Of course, things are looking extremely tight in the Serie A race right now, guys. It's Serie A right now, if you ask me, is the most intriguing league in the world right now, and it's only going to get more interesting as the season goes on. But, guys, Milan got a difficult trip to Parma this weekend. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. Tell me your predictions. We'd love to hear them. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Forza Milan sempre, as always, guys. Remember, if you do not watch sports, you're more. Ciao, guys.